On the unpopular opinion, we have author of Surviving Tough Times, Misunderstood Adrienne, entrepreneur, Ms. Amore Blue, Tatiana, owner of MentalMassage, Melinda, your host, Stradivari, on the unpopular opinion. So let me ask you, ladies, what is the power of being connected and unconnected? On ATS TV. Oh, welcome to the unpopular opinion. I am your host, Stradivari, and today is about being connected and sometimes being unconnected. How much connectivity do you ladies have, you sisters? And today I have Miss Melinda and Miss Tatiana. This is going to be a great segue, ladies, to just understand how you ladies are connected. Connected between each other, but connected between your families, and just connected with everything in the world as electricity. And what is your electricity with being connected? So how electrified are you with this connectivity on self, on power with money, on connected with family, and connected between us as the unpopular opinion. So let's go ahead and put us together and join as a connection between each other as family. How about you, Miss Melinda? What do you think about being connected?
Well, I've been on a journey of connecting my own parts, and so it's interesting. It's an interesting topic. But what I would say is, as you connect more to your parts, integrate them. I was integrating my parts. As you do that, I feel like you become more and more integrated with the universe, and so the universe is all of us, and so connectedness happens naturally. And so some people come here more connected. My son is a very connected person. We hear people talk about empaths, right? I think those are people who are just naturally more connected. But what I would say is, I definitely am connected to the unpopular opinion in a way that allows me to be my authentic, very loyal uh, self. And so it's like, if I'm doing it, I'm doing it. Riding with the show, riding with you, Mr. B, riding with you, Miss Tatiana Amore, and Misunderstood. And we're going to ride it, ride it all the way to the sunset. So it's all good.
Oh, okay. I like your connectivity on that one. What about you being connected, Miss Tatiana?
Um, I feel, as far as my connection with my family, my mother and I have a really good bond. My family in North Carolina, I'm connected with. Uh, the pandemic, if you want to say, made us connected in a different way. Like, we used to see each other, but now we was like using other ways to connect to each other. As much as you don't want to be like tied down to electronics, it's nice that we can call each other, still FaceTime each other, see what we actually look like. um, I feel more connected to my community because I have to talk to them more often now. Before, I talked to people based upon how I had to. Now it's kind of a necessity. Um, I am trying to make better connections as I learn myself. Like-minded people um, that will allow me to have more opportunities, them opportunities, just knowing about each other and being able to support one another. uh, those first few times that I was able to like just get on media and look at other people, I was like, oh, there's a lot of more people out here like me. And you don't have to always reach out. It's just nice to know that it's there. So um, you can be connected and disconnected or at any time that you want. And that's something, that's been great about the pandemic, but it's also made some people stronger. I don't know how other people did, but I did pretty well once I got through the first part of it.
So let me go ahead and ask you, ladies, about y'all connectivity on certain things. Y'all talk about y'all being connected and all. So let's go ahead and smack a little bit of pedazzle on you. How about being connected with that? What was the first thing in this storm that we had with families trying to do the susu. Did you try the susu? Did everyone try that at least one time? The susu connection of putting your money in and trying with everybody else. How many? Who was the first? Let me go with Miss Tatiana on this one. Was you the first to do the susu, Miss Tatiana? What about that? What about
I
you?
did not do the susu. As far as it being an opportunity with people, I did not feel like I had a bond with them. And when I look back to what I've learned over time, that isn't supposed to be something that you just do with strangers and, oh, hope I get money. It's more of a deep rooted wealth being support system. And if I didn't find that with anybody, that's not happening. I've been on money adventures and they worked when I found you've had something more rooted amongst the people. So that's a no for me on that. And not that I wouldn't do it, just not in those aspects. You know what I'm saying? I share money amongst my family that I trust before I share it amongst people I don't know. You know what I mean? There has to be some connection.
So you ain't go there, huh? You didn't go
No,
there.
because it seems like it's based on greed, and that's not what a susu supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about building money, wealth, and prosperity amongst you. You're not just giving the people the money. There's other things that's supposed to be transacted besides that.
What about you, Miss Melinda? What about you on the susu thing?
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Right? Like,
I was definitely deeply into the susu, so much so that I ran a susu, but I didn't intend to. But I had to take it over from some random person who got crazy on me, and they were at that point charging admin fees, and it was a little cheap one because they ended up going down to like you could do like $5. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. I got pulled in because I like the concept of building with Black folks and it being an old tradition. Actually, I also, as a person who's pretty academically inclined and definitely a math buff kind of person, knew that the math didn't work. So I knew that it's like, no, eventually this is gonna break, right? So, but I did do it, and I actually did get paid out of it. But I made it really, really clear. Like anything I do, I'm not ever looking to take anybody's money. I don't actually need to, thankfully. So
Take
like
a chance, honey.
I made it really, really clear that y'all, this is what you gonna have to do. You got to bring in these people. And so when it got really corrupt, nobody could bring in people anymore because everybody heard about it being corrupt, and so it just ground to a halt, right?
Right.
And so if you were in the mix during that time, you just got stuck. And I know people who got stuck for lots and lots and lots of money. I know people who got stuck for lots. They were doing 1,000, 1,400, 1,400 when that imploded and the money just disappeared. It wasn't disappeared. Somebody had it, right? Up the chain.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't get stuck in that way. But when I ran it, it was super stressful because, to your point, it was people that I was connected to in real ways, right? And so I didn't want them to end up getting stuck out. So I was doing a lot of stuff, and I had to shut it down. There's no real way to shut it down. And so, as a person with integrity, I paid a lot of people out because it was a cheaper one, it was $100.
Okay.
So
okay.
me and the person but I mean, we paid a lot of people out. We definitely went in the red just to stop it, right? Just gave people their money back. And so that means somebody, to your point about connectedness, somebody above us actually took the money because we were paying back the money that someone had given them, and they took it. Right. So it was some fallouts because I'm like, you got that money and we paying these people back,
But that's just the point of it. That the connectivity is a bond that you try to make to be connected, to give them that trust as a family trust. Like you put your trust in banks, you put your trust in credit, you put your trust in a lot of different fields. But who can you really trust when you're not really giving that total connect? You're not connected to anybody. Right now, the world has split us up into just, I'm not going to be, facetious on things, or big time, but I mean, even from a line of a state, it just makes no sense of an imaginary line that we are disconnected as, oh, you representing this state, we represent this football team. It's like a very big disconnect on how much we don't understand we need to come together to bring and build each other's wealth, care, health, mind, mental, physical. Like another person next to you can always make you stronger in any shape, form, or fashion. So why are we not picking this point of our lives to build each other's bond? Like, what do you think about that connection? Because I know right now nobody understands that we are all connected between each other, mentally, emotionally, physically, because there's things that we do with each other that keep us connected. So by understanding that physical form of it, how is the world not understanding and seeing that and building from each other? What do you think about that, Miss Melinda?
Man, I mean, that's a very, to me, loaded question. So there's a concept that blew my mind. It's a Belge scientist that put this concept out there called mass formation, which describes why and how people have gotten to this point of being in almost like these, cultish views of if you have the COVID vaccine or not, right? And the root of that concept is connectedness or disconnectedness, and people feeling lonely. And he's talking over civilizations, right? So thousands of years, not just or yeah, hundreds of years, maybe thousands, but not just shorter term, which I thought was fascinating because he was talking about this phenomenon has happened over time, multiple times, in the history of mankind, and the conditions are set when people feel alone. So I think it was just so interesting to me because I have not like Miss Tatiana Amore, I have a different dynamic with my own personal family, but I'm always able to make family. But all of that comes with what it comes with. I don't think that we're moving in a direction of being more connected with technology and electronics, in the way that children, for example, millennials, whatever, interact. Maybe that connectedness is just different, right? But I think the world can be that way. I think that's the question you ask, is because, and I don't know if the world is that way. I mean, I think we see the world through the lens of the United States. Culturally, we depend on money in the United States, right? And nothing really trumps that. Whereas if you go to a tribal community, tribal traditions trump everything. That's how you keep that kind of culture and that level of execution, right, of that tradition. So I don't know about the world, but I do know that I think that our dependence on technology and technology fueled by capitalism and money and working in the way that we do. Speaking of pyramids, somebody was talking about capitalism being the biggest pyramid scheme there is. That allows for us to be really focused on things that are not the human element. And so that's where disconnection can happen.
Oh wow. What about you, Miss Tatiana? About just being super connected with this world today. Like, what is really going on?
So I've traveled to like other countries and seen even how other cultures work with the countries, and kind of to piggyback off what Miss Melinda said, you're going to find, your connection. I don't think as far as connecting the whole world that it's something that happens. I think that people find their connection without, and just somehow people are able to form a larger bond with a group of people, making them bigger. I think more people need to do that. Find people that are like-minded them, instead of so hard trying to fight against what they don't want from people. Like, why are you fighting with somebody who don't want the same thing as you want? Find somebody who wants what you want and work within that group and try to make things better that way. It's like these singular battles out here. And when you talk about state to state things, I mean, there's lines of everybody's counties or cities or stuff, but they should be more aligned with each other than to be like all 50 of our states have multiple things. It's not like that when I've gone to England. Like their basis rules are the same. I feel like our foundations aren't the same in the US. And that makes it difficult. Like Miss Melinda said, we're based on money. You go to multiple different countries and theirs is based on family, or people was based on tradition, or people was based on a religion, and you have something to actually follow. Here we just make up the rules as there's precedence. Like literally. So how you connect should be different. I shouldn't be connecting with somebody who's not aligned with me. That's where we get bad connections.
Oh, okay. Okay. So both of y'all feel connected. What about the disconnect? I mean, it's just so much disconnect. I mean, how can you stay connected with somebody that's always trying to, disengage with you? Now the world is like so un you know foreseen. Like it doesn't have a real telltale sign of what's going to happen next. So how can you push the envelope on trying to connect with people to try to get them to understand, we kind of might have to build something together real quick just to make, kind of everything okay for our futures. Where's the build in this world at this point? So how do you actually build with anybody? How can you connect with anybody, Miss Melinda? What's your connection? What's the fastest way you can connect with someone?
My answer is simple for this one. It's a part of what I am evolving into, and that is grace. That is grace. Some people call grace love, right? So at the end of the day, it is we're all different, right? Some people have a much more natural ability to see the out, for lack of a better term, I'm gonna call it the God in people. I'm gonna the force, right? The soul, the life force that is without a form, right? Um, some people have a natural ability to see that, and I feel like when you see that, then and understand the where it all comes from, then you have no choice but to acknowledge the connection, because there's only one source, and we all come from the source. We're all the source, right? So whether you like the person or not, and I can say that about my family, right? It doesn't matter, right? If I like them, I'm connected to them by definition. And so the reality of the fact is what I have to come to grips with is that's every human being in some way. And I'll be the first to admit I'm not that great at that. That's why I say I'm evolving into that. And so for me, it's figuring out how to extend grace. Because when I can extend that grace, then I can see and feel and respect that connection.
Okay, okay. What about you, Miss Tatiana? I mean, personally, the connection thing. Like, how do you connect, Miss Tatiana? What's your connections?
Um, for me, it's common ground. Um, Something we all need. Like, we need water, we need food, we need things to survive. So whenever I am trying to appeal to somebody, you try to pull the things that y'all are alike together. It's the fastest way I can think, like, because I can't be like Miss Melinda. I ain't got grace yet. I ain't got it yet. I ain't got it all there. So for me, it's the common ground of just, treat me how you want to be treated. Is this the way that it's going to work? We live in the same community. We live in the same town. Like, if you're doing this over here, it got to float to your side of the water. You can't give it to me without it being given to you. And I use that as a tactic, with adults, with kids, trying to formulate an idea that I would like to perform. And once you know that, like, hey, we all gotta live in this town. I don't like you. You can stay in your house. I can stay in my house. You kind of build those connections, because some people aren't aren't religious based. They're not moral based. They don't have all those foundations that we're all built on together. So saying I'm going to have grace for you, I can't. Nah, we just both need to eat. We both want to go to the store. We want food. We want whatever. And it needs to be fair across the board. Now, if you want some extra stuff, you can go fight for that. But can we all just get the basics here? Like, I'm really like at the time we're like, can we get the basics? But I do try to do the common ground. And usually you can't. When you do that, people are like, all right, like I'm fighting an uphill battle or something that if I don't give to you, I'm not going to get neither. So it's just become
Well,
something like that.
I mean, to really be honest, the common ground. See, Miss Melinda, I was like, because sometimes you got some people test the waters, like the
I said
waters
I
can't
don't
be
have it.
tested over here, and you gotta like filter that water out. Some water ain't clean. You know what I'm saying? You can't just drink every type of water. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what bottle it come from. All that's not clean. It's not purified. You know what I mean? How do you even know it's clean? So at this point in time, that's what type of people you got to understand. You trying to gain that trust, but I'm trying to figure out, how do you actually, meet this person that you can actually put your all into, like put all your money into, put all your love into. These are the things that you got, I really kind of question, the humbleness side of it. I mean, some people know I just the games aren't going to be played right here. You know what I mean? I'm not going for it. I don't, I'm not doing it actually. How it's just going to go. I mean, this is how it's going to go. I mean, the way you come at me is just how it's going to be. I'm not going to try to recant what statements you gave me or how your tone was to me. It's just a whole different form of faction or how I'm going to connect with you. And I mean, my attitude sometimes might not connect with yours. So that does a big point. Sometimes it does though. I mean, like kids love me. Like kids love me. So I can't have it no other way. But when it comes to some adults, I really see some adults for who they really are. I'm not playing. I'm not playing. So
Do you see yourself for who you really are?
oh, that's probably the problem sometimes too. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I do. I know what I'm made of. I see all of the imperfections. Um the problem is I try to fix them too fast. That's a problem too. I try to like handle the situation like that. If I can't get it done, I try to like really, really speed up the process. And I think, just taking my time with things really comes out perfect. So why not just take my time with it? So that's probably one of my imperfections though, just within me. Like something goes wrong, I'm trying to really fix it instead of just saying, hey, wait, let's just take some time to think about the situation first before I just actually go hammer straight to it. So just acting, acting, even in situations where I might have an altercation or something, just acting out instead of not even saying anything might actually help. You know what I mean? So I have to think about those things. I think them through. So that's what most people need to do too. They need to think it through. I mean, when it comes to how the world is treating you, let's think about things. You have a house. Everybody has an area. If you live in a apartment, that might be different, but still you can do things in the apartment too. Why not cut half of your costs by growing crops on your own lawn? Like instead of actually going out to the store, you need to grow those crops on the inside during the wintertime. You need to know how to safely store those things or do things that's in the house, buy machines or buy some type of, you don't even have to buy a machine. You just have to know how the sun goes during those times of the year and you can grow certain things. I'm gonna just totally be honest on that. The YouTube is a beast on knowing things. Like lettuce is my thing in the house. It's just a thing that you really have to do. You have to cut out the middleman totally. If you want to be safe about what's really going on with the world, you have to be totally healthy with your mind. And the only way you can do that is by doing it with your family, taking some time to like, if you can't grow all these things in your yard, maybe one side of the family can grow the cucumbers, the other side of the family can grow the tomatoes, another, you just branch off and think differently. That's all I'm giving you is an avenue just to think differently on how we're going to connect with each other, on how you can do things differently. Like it has to be a different type of connection. You have to give yourself a different type of connection. So one time I looked on my cell phone and seen that I don't know if you were sending this to Tatiana or sending this out to all the ladies, but you was like, we was about to have this phone call and this lady made this certain amount of money. I was like, oh, I'm in. So I just hit the button, right? And you was like, oh, you did it already and I ain't even talked to you. I was like, oh, no, no, no. I know how to look at what the women are talking about instead of, you know, asking questions. No questions, no questions. I can read all of the text messages that's going on. So I'm going to stick to the plan. And when you bring me into the plan, I'll be like, I've already done it. You'd be like, yeah, I see that you done it. Thank you. So automatically that connection was like, I already trust you because we've had a long stem of a relationship. I've known you since the first time we was in the music store and I was playing the piano. You was like, oh, okay, you okay? I want to teach my son. Can you teach young kids? I was like, yeah, I sure can. You was like, you sure? I was like, I'm positive. I'm positive. I can teach anybody how to play the piano and actually really good. You're like, all right. I was like, okay. And you stuck to it. Now, when the music store did me dirty, he was like, I'm going to stick with you. And I was like, I appreciate you. I was just trying to make sure that my daughter had been able to get where she needed to get to. So I was just trying to do that. Instead, I got fired. I was like, uh, but you know what? Since I got fired, I kept all my students. So instead of paying the music store, I was just getting paid my normal hours and just working it anyway. So it kind of worked out. Since I got my virtual business now, I can do it online and I can go to people's houses. Oh, it just turned out kind of like great for me. Really turned out really good, actually. It's got me to where I'm at right now, actually. It was a good thing. I can actually go perform and play anywhere, work other jobs. I actually worked at school, and I was doing that. It worked out. It worked out. Totally great. Worked out. So the connection between us, it just I found some great women actually. So you guys are, totally into the connection. I didn't want to even stay long with this connection because the connection we have, we totally offline on our connection. We are connected with, different things. Even financially, we are connected now. So I just want to just say that this has been a great moment with us. And I want to understand that just by knowing you and knowing you guys is building my connection within me and you. So I appreciate you. And if you want to give a little bit about how you want to be connected, I don't want to go on how my family is connected or they not connected because technically if they want to find some connection they can always call, you know what I'm saying? So that's the difference between other people's family. They can just freely call at any time and they're already in for me. So I don't have a problem with that. But if I didn't have a problem, I would look at my phone and say, oh no, not today, not today. So I just want to see how you guys are connected with us. How are you feeling about, us as a group, us as a family, us as a whole? What do you think, Miss Tatiana? How do you feel?
Um, I'm really excited about the unpopular opinion and the opportunities that I've been given with it. It also opened my mind frame talking to other people because through this show, I've met people and talked to people, and they've had different things that they can offer me or that I can offer them. And that for me alone, the offer me ain't the big thing, is being able to offer other people things and be able to do it and it not like hurt my pockets, crush me. And I'm able to be like, ooh, and I don't have to tell people everything I do, but the connection has really, been great, and it only built on what I was already building with myself to connect better with me, to better my business, to better what I wanted to do in my art form and with people that I deal with. um it helped me lose a few people, which is unfortunate, but the connection that I made with other people was stronger because I did not have those filters and buffers of people who aren't strong. So I love the depth of the people I have, the realness. And that's a lot better, even though sometimes it's a little, uncomfortable. That uncomfortableness is something great, because I feel like when you get too comfortable, you get stagnant, and then that means you're not moving forward. So I've been able to do more with my business, and kind of lose the distractions in the process. So that's really, really great. And that's pretty much what it is with my connect. How it is for my connection. Like, I feel like the more I work with connecting with myself, I connect with the universe. As Miss Melinda said, it's a full circle.
What about you, Miss Melinda? How about you in the family of connections?
Well, I mean, I think you originally asked about the show, so I was, a late addition, and I came and visited and never left, like the visitor that never left. But let me tell you, I'm a person that has unpopular opinions, and so this show has allowed me the space to air them, should I want to. And so that's also, that's amazing. And I just appreciate the focus, the emphasis, the dedication, the loyalty. And for me, I am authenticity incarnate. I just am. Like, I've always been known as that. That's what people recognize in me, is authenticity. I was on something and somebody read the definition. Oh, it was actually the women's investment group read the definition of authenticity. And I'm like, oh, that's it right there. And so that's what I see and respect in other people. And so I appreciate the authenticity of everyone on the show. The dynamic, there are dynamics, and the dynamic, as I think Miss Tatiana alluded to, is great. Like, you got to have polarity for something to exist. So, that's good, So, yeah, it's great. I look forward to the future. And I think there are boundless opportunities, like you alluded to, whether it be, somebody knows about what's coming next. So it's time to get on it before it's, commercialized and it's not the same opportunity. Being first a lot of times will help you be able to understand things. So I appreciate that, community that we have working as well.
Well, we do have a community, and this is actually, at the ATS. So let's just go to the ATS now.
I am determined to be rich.
The middle class is not for me.
I need news that cares about me.
And not news that's gonna scare me or make me mad at another people group.
I need news without politics.
And I want news that will point me to the money.
This is the news where it happens.
The moments that change the world.
These are the stories we need.
The info that we care about.
We only give you news
that puts money in your pocket.
And the news
that gives us an advantage.
This is the work that continues.
Who we are today.
And what we can become
tomorrow.
That's it.
This is where news without agendas can lead us.
Your wealth matters.
This is why more perspectives
make us stronger.
And how our mission can inspire
tomorrow.
This is journalism that helps the world we live in.
This
is
Mexit News.
Well. That was the ATS in the Mexit News, Mexit verse. I'm trying to tell you, y'all don't know, you better ask somebody. Well, I'm going to just go ahead and say, the mental massage, once you came on the show, is like that. Letting everybody know, please let everybody know a little bit about, what you do and give you a little insight on, who you are.
I am Melinda Woods. I am the CEO and founder of amazing concept that is absolutely necessary, which is self-care for women who put themselves last to put everybody else first. Women who are leading intense households, organizations, and their own businesses, who need what I call a mental massage. So that means providers that come to help relax the mind so that the body can do what it needs to do. And that whole full circle can work to rejuvenate and replenish and fill the cup of a woman who is putting everybody else first and burning herself out. Mental massage. You can find mental massage at www.mentalmassagewellness.com. That's www.mentalmassagewellness.com. Also, Mental Massage Wellness on Facebook, Instagram, and all the rest of the social media platforms. I am in the process of updating packages for commercial pricing. And so stay tuned for that. And I'm also a technologist and out here doing my thing in the metaverse and in the crypto world and the blockchain world, working with businesses to bring on new capabilities there. So that business is also in full effect. Excellence as a Service, EAS. So just hit me up at MentalMassageWellness.com, Melinda at MentalMassageWellness.com. Would love to talk and definitely encourage those mental massages.
All right. My name is Tatiana Sita Amore. I am the owner of Amore Blue. I make custom jewelry, which could be anywhere from waist beads, bracelets. I'm also an art designer and preserver and a seamstress. All of my pieces are custom made, one of a kind. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Etsy. Almost any social media platform as Amore Blue. And check me out.
All right. And I am Stradivari. I'm Mr. B. And I have my own virtual music art store. If you would like to, just reach me, I am currently doing some great things with art and music. If you challenge yourself to play the piano or any other instruments, drums, trumpets, trombones, tubas, saxophones, I could definitely teach them all. I have a great voice too. So these are my drawings in the background. But this has been a wonderful show on connecting with each other on the Mexic News. We're just giving you a challenge to understand that we can just connecting with each other and giving each other just this vibe that we need and have. Our vibes are connecting each day. We're all together connected, with Miss Melinda under her crypto. So if you like to get with us, we doing it. We making it, and we breaking it. Breaking that bank and breaking our minds, breaking our love with each other. I just want to say that this has been one of the greatest shows because connection is what we do, and we're already connected with each other. I benefit every one of you. And thank you for coming on the show tonight. MsUnderstood was going to come on the show, but she probably come on here and bounce back later. So we'll just see her, next time on the ATS. As I say, we just want to say have a great one. So just let me ask you, ladies, are we connected or what?
Absolutely.
Yes.
On the Unpopular Opinion, we have author of Surviving Tough Times, MsUnderstood Adrienne, entrepreneur, Ms. Amore Blue, Tatiana, owner of Mental Massage, Melinda, your host, Stradivari, on the Unpopular Opinion. So let me ask you, ladies, what is the power of being connected and unconnected? On ATS TV.